Good morning everyone. I said I would probably try and get some videos done today, which is Monday, the bank holiday day. It looks like summer has actually arrived. I've chosen this time as it's not too much bright sunshine at the moment. It'll probably brighten up a bit later. So I thought I'd have a little look at how the plants are coming on, what I've been doing, potting up a lot of stuff. Anyhow, it's been a funny old time. Yesterday I decided to go to my local Asda and Lidl's. Both were closed, funnily enough. It appeared they opened up at 11 o'clock. But anyhow, that wasn't the problem. The problem was on the journey back home from where Lidl's was. The car decided to pack up. The engine fault come up, and I thought, oh no, not again. This car that I had, which in my opinion was the worst car I've ever had, and I've had a few cars in my life, this one had been nothing but trouble. It was low mileage. I'm wondering now why it was low mileage. Did the previous owner get shot of it? Because it obviously played up when they had it. Initially it was niggly things. It showed the engine in orange, which means I think you can still drive it, but yesterday it turned red. The car, it was actually, I'll let you know which one it was. It's a Vauxhall model called a Crossland X. It also goes under the Opel name if you live in Germany or in Ireland. But anyhow, I thought enough's enough. I've had this car and it's been nothing but trouble. To be quite honest, I've been scared to even go out any distance for fear that it was going to break down. That's just how I felt. And apart from our mad motorways, so-called smart motorways, it just put me off of driving. Perhaps I'm getting too old, I don't know. But anyhow, to cut a long story short, I managed to get back home. It did stop on a roundabout on the way back. I thought, oh no, what's the best place to stop? But anyhow, I managed to get it going again. And I got back and went to my local garage, who has always looked after me with not new cars, they're second-hand cars. I can't afford a new car. And I said, right, I want to get shot of this car. It's been nothing but trouble. And I'd noticed previously they had one of these. Now, these were quite a cheap car at one time. It's called a Dacia Duster. Now, I know these are quite popular on the continent, particularly Germany. They're made in, as far as I know, Romania, owned by Renault, and they seem to be quite reliable. Anyhow, I decided to get one of these, and the garage had one of these in, so I said, yeah, I'll have that. So, as I say, I'm waiting now till Thursday when I can pick it up, get the tax and all that done on it, transfer the insurance over. It's all the palaver that goes with it, the paperwork and that. But anyhow, that's my little story of yesterday. No way was I expecting to buy a new car. Well, it's not a new car, a different car. So if anyone's knows anything about these cars or any information, my opinion is never buy a Vauxhall car. This is, as I said, the Crossland X. In my opinion, nothing but trouble. Is it possible it was what they used to call it, a Friday made car where they weren't very good, or was it a Monday made car? So anyhow, it had inherent faults. But anyhow, that's all I'm going to say about that. So if anyone's got any comments, please make. I will be saying I hope to put another video up showing some of the telephones, how I've been sorting these out. Anyway, let's get back to the plants. I showed a few weeks ago these seedlings. They're slowly coming on. In that corner there, obviously they're not germinated yet, I hooked out some seeds off my Lophophorus, or one Lophophora I've got, which I was able to hook out some of the seeds. Plants we see on this side are the Royal Flush, I think they call it. It's plus Nelli, but the reddish purplish form. They're doing very well. Hoping I can keep most of them. The other seedlings, lithops, gyrodermas, and various others. They're not doing very well, but they are there and they're coming up a bit slow. Also there we've got Frithia pulchra. Frithia was named after a person's name of Frith, and pulchra means beautiful. So it often helps to know what the Latin names mean. It caused me a lot of trouble when I was at school, but that's another story. They couldn't understand why I knew quite a bit about the various names and the derivations. It's mainly jealousy, as I say. They don't like someone that knows something they don't know, and it doesn't help when the same person hates such things as football, which I do. I detest it. But anyhow, that's one of my little what's-its. Looking around, I chopped up the some know it as Orsana or Variegator. It's Aloe Variegator or Aloe Orsana. Next to that, they've got Ripsalis. The Alaudia's coming on a bit. It's making new leaves. The stuff's not doing too bad. It's had quite a few drinks. And I find that stuff does dry out very quickly in here. So it does need the odd drink. I won't go too deeply into the stuff because it'll take me be talking all day and all night. There's another Orsana there. It's just that I broke up some. They'd got such a size where they needed to be chopped up back a bit. Over the back they've got 2 pots of Neohenritica Cibetii, which I believe I mentioned last time when I showed that. When they open their little tiny flowers, they're insignificant flowers, but the perfume. The plant in front of this is, I'm going to look at the name, Albuca spiralis. And obviously the spiralis refers to the spiraling leaves. Hence again, where Latin comes in, Latin and Greek derivations of names. You've got an Ionium at the back there. They were two cuttings. I think they might have taken actually. What one do they have it then? They call it velour, Ionium velour. So it's obviously a hybrid. A lot of these plants I got from another person, Jean, who I haven't heard of for ages. I don't know. You know, it does worry me a bit. But anyhow, the plants are growing quite well. It's the main thing. Here we've got, yeah, this is a cactus, species of Pereschia, which grows as a normal houseplant, you would say. Further along, what have we got? We have a couple more odds and ends, and a puntier that somehow got into this greenhouse from the other one. I repotted my poor mammillaria, which was growing on its side for many years. I actually put it in a decent sized pot, and it's thanked me by producing some nice flowers. I think it's Boccasana, I'm not too sure. Also, a plant which I thought I'd lost is Phocea crispa. And look what's on there. If it hasn't shown up on the video, let me let you know that it's producing nice green shoots, so I haven't lost it. This, as I say, is quite an old plant. It's obviously not the oldest hot pot plant in Europe, which I believe is at Schönberg in Vienna. But it's the same species, Phocea crispa, referring to the leaves which are quite crisp. Now this greenhouse, I'll cover the front of the camera up when I walk down to the next greenhouse. But before I do, two other plants I thought I'd lost. Tree ferns. And look what's happened. Brand new fronds. And some fronds waiting inside to come up. I really thought I'd lost this. It was covered in fronds last year and they rotted off. It was due to this frost. It's been the winter was so cold, but I've still got it. It's still going. And there's the other one. I picked these plants up many years ago. Excuse the mess of the garden. I'm not the most tidiest of people. I'm working on getting these things done, but unfortunately the day is only so long, and they do take up a bit of time. Also, I've had these puntias for donkey's years in the garden, and this particular batch didn't like the frost, and I'm waiting for them to completely dry up and then I can put them in the incinerator. The other ones on this side seem to have been okay. I thought they were the same species, probably a puntia engriana, named after Mr. Engelmann. And this ghastly ivy plant at the back here, which I'm trying to kill off. It looks like I'm succeeding slowly. It's been allowed to grow, and perhaps it wasn't treated in the early days, but it is a bit of a nuisance. Anyway, I'll cover this up again. Let's have another look in another greenhouse. This is where a lot of the opuntias are. They've been watered and got going again. They didn't particularly like the winter because it did, the heater packed up. Not the heater that's on there now, which is just on a fan. You can hear it going. I haven't turned that one off while I do this. Various trays of plants. You've got some young Nellis, Prispis Nelli. Some more fenestrarias. I don't know how long this camera will remain active. It seems to be okay at the moment. I've been on charge previously, so it should be okay. Down there you've got 2 trays of Clinia articulator or Senecio articulator. This is actually a winter grower. Quite a nice plant, but when it flowers, oh, do they pong. Looking at the Opuntias on the separate table at the back here, they're all doing well. My aloe, my Lothii got frosted, and I thought I might have lost that, but I think I haven't. I took the old rotting leaves off. There's a new leaf coming through. This is quite an old plant as well. The Opuntia at the back there. And a couple of other ones. Looking about on the other side, we've got some more in pans, one in bloom. It's been quite good for blooms. The Opuntia invicta, very vicious plant. These had I built up some of the soil in them because they were down quite low, and that was that Irish soil, which seems to be quite good. A void compost bought at a particular supermarket. It killed a lot of my plants years ago, and I'm still getting the effects now. There's a few in pots, a few mesems, some more baby's toes. I rather like baby's toes, or fenestrarias, window plants. Fenes means window. We've got a Gibeum there, Gibeum shandii, I believe that one is. Looking at them a bit closer. That one there could be a white flowered one, Rhopalophila. Fenestraria rhopalophila, I think it's a white flowered one. They have mixed a lot, so yeah, it's nice to get the genuine deep purple one, or very not a dark coloured one, or the white. Yeah, let's pop to the other greenhouse. I'll cover this up again. Let's have another little look in the big greenhouse. I mentioned earlier the phosphor, which I got seed from. This is the one. Seeds are produced, and they don't need to be crossed. They're self-fertile, which is not the case in a lot of plants, but in these they certainly seem to be self-fertile. Probably got loads of seeds, which are worth putting in, bringing them up, because they're seedlings. They seem to grow fairly fast. You've got the hotbed here, which is turned off at the moment, with a little bit of artificial daylight. These are a Sansu lamp. They did talk about these on YouTube. BigClive.com talked about these and gave a very good description how these lamps were made up, and I was impressed that I got that one. I've also got another one indoors. So, you know, it pays to look at various YouTubes. And also the Xeriococcus are growing at last. I don't find this to be an easy plant, but it's growing. My Lophophorus. I have shown these before, but it might be altered around a bit where I've repotted stuff and that. The horse crippler, which is not looking very good at all. I'm ashamed of my cultivation on that. I really messed it up. But it's still alive. Mammillaria plumosa. Another plumosa there. Those two plants came, I believe, from Jean. Very large Launchenbergia principus, which looks like it's shrinking. I hope it's not, but it looks like it is. If we get a power cut, the battery operated lamp comes alight. If I want extra light, lamp at the back there. So all nice conveniences. Some of the taller ceres. I think this is a Cleistocaxus straussii. The plant at the back there is a bromeliad. A beautiful Gasteria armstrongii. And this plant, I don't know what this is called. I did have a name for it. That also was one of the plants from Jean, which has done rather well. Another hybrid. Another hybrid there. They're looking quite good actually. I think that's Oreganosa, I'm not sure. That's looking very nice. Some more variegators. The common name's partridge-breasted aloe. Plants in the back there. The Piclatulus didn't do very well, but it's coming back, so I'm all right. On the top shelf I put some of the glotties, because glotties like plenty of sun and not too much water. So they're up there and they seem to be doing okay. Further down, got a few more bits and bobs. Another Gasteria. Excuse me, I don't know the names of a lot of these things, I don't. A lot of these I've got without names on them, so it's a bit of a guess. But it's nice to see them. There's an Echinopsis there, which looks like, well, another one there, which looks like they're going to bloom. Echinopsis normally have long tubular flowers, and also a bit of weeding to boot. Difficulty. Gotcha. Get rid of any weeds you see on the plants. Warthia longii at the back there. I say they're looking quite good. And it's nice that we've got a bit of decent weather to bring the stuff on. On the other shelf, a few more plants. Lovely Euphorbia Susannae. That is quite a big plant. You can see by my hand there, it is quite a big plant. I'll have a hell of a job getting that to a show. Not that I do shows now. It's nice to go to shows, but oh, perhaps I will, I don't know. It all depends how things go. Pachypodium nemaquanum, Ghostman, as they're called. Another Echinopsis. Skeletium. Skeletium, like a skeleton, referring to when the leaves are at rest, they dry up, they do look a bit skeletonized. Two aloes at the back, or the aloes or agaves. They're a Japanese hybrid, I believe. Pans of Glottis. Another little aloe species there. Now coming to the front, you've got the plants in pots. Some of the gibayums, Agaraderma, Agara meaning like silver. That's how Argentina was named, meaning of silver, where silver was found. They're silver skins. That one, some of the bodies have split, which does happen. In the front here we have Gibayum heathii. That was named after an amateur, Mr. Heath. I did at one time have a very large plant of that, but unfortunately there's the pot it was in. It used to be in that pot. I was given that pot to put the plant in. It came from a very old member of the Cactus and Succulent Society. She wrote every times in the Cactus and Succulent Journal of her mesons. Well, as I say, when she passed away, I was able, or I got a lot of her plants, which I was very grateful for. But unfortunately, I lost it. It was the biggest heathie I'd ever seen. Moving along, you've got a couple of echiverias there. The majority of these plants also came from Jean. You've got a rather sickly mitrophyllum or conophyllum at the back there. And just to the right of that, you've got a dead conophyllum. Yeah, they do go. A lot of these plants seem to have a limited life. They'll suddenly say, I've had enough, and they kick the bucket. Maybe urged on by bad weather, lack of water. As I say, the pots in the front there have also seen better days. One there is Aloniopsis schunesii. He's looking a bit better now. An ophthalmophyllum species. Next we have some seedling, although they're a little bit big now for seedlings, of Nellis. I rather like Nellis. It's a plant named after Gert Cornelius Nel, an expert who lived in South Africa and specialised particularly with the mesems. And this plant was named for him Gibayum. Now Gibayum means humped, but Nelli was the name of the gentleman, and there they are. I've always liked these. Make sure you get them where they're a true shape. You don't want any signs of they've got a very slight little ridge on the top there. They're not too bad. They are what I would say good plants to get seed. That's what I'm doing. Notice that there was 3 of these out at the same time, and with the brush, my tickling stick, I was able to fertilise them, and they got nice bits of seed in there. So hopefully when they're ripe, I will sow the seeds and see how they do. Moving further along, I think that's Argita Petrense. Sericlamis, I think that's called Sericlamis. I think Sericlamis means sand bearing. If I'm wrong on any of these, someone tell me. I might put in a wrong name on purpose, just to see I haven't sent you all to sleep, which is a possibility, I must admit. Anyhow, I've virtually finished. I'll just show you the lithops. Now these, I'm still being affected by this horrible compost, little flecks of white. Well, I don't quite know what they are, but before I leave the greenhouse, this stuff is what I use, much to the disgust of a lot of members, as it could kill bees. Well, I can assure you there's no bees in here. I very rarely see a bee in here. The only time I saw bees was a few years ago, the leaf cutter bees, but they haven't been here. Anyhow, just give a gentle spraying, just a gentle. And as I say, this stuff is pretty potent. So you spray and quickly leave the greenhouse for fear of collapsing. That stuff is quite potent. Anyhow, I'm standing outside and I'll close the door. Once again, thanks for looking. I'm going to pop this up on YouTube. I make sure to say, for my telephone members that are interested, I'll try and put one of those up today if I get a chance. But at the moment, I'm going to go indoors, put this on the computer, which is very fast now, by the way. This Virgin seems to be very, very good. I was with BT using the copper wires, and it was, well, in my opinion, useless. It took ages to upload stuff to YouTube, and it was often failing on the way, so I'm glad I changed that. And also, still on hand, if anyone can help me sorting out my CNET, or has a number that I can ring up that really can help me with that. I'm trying to get on CNET. I've been given 2 numbers, and it's what you have to do with the Linksys box. It tells you what to do, but then it doesn't tell you what to do. Well, I know I'm a bit thick when it comes to computers, which I think I'm entitled to be. I'm nearly 80. I think next year I probably will be 80. But I'd love to get the old CNET working. But who knows? So if anyone knows how to do this, or can give me some information, what I really want is to be able to ring